Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Veasey. Welcome to Mike's Alternate Reality Show, the talk show I put together to talk to creative people that are out there pursuing their passions. We have a terrific, jam-packed episode tonight. We have two local filmmakers, Brandon Herman and Chris Marciante. But first up, we have a local actress who I met on the set of Crashing in New York City. She's featured on the new Amazon Prime series, 21st Century Demon Hunter. Please welcome Madison Humes. Madison.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out to Staten Island on a rainy Saturday.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So we met. We were both doing background work in the
Yes.
city last summer.
Yeah.
And it's actually a lot of fun. I don't do much extra stuff, but I actually had a pretty good time on that set.
Yeah, you were helping me with my scene in
that was the
acting
most-
class.
See, when you're doing background work on a TV show, you're waiting around a long time. Like, how many hours were we just sitting there?
It could be, who knows? You
Right.
never know, really.
So I saw her studying her lines, and I was like, excuse me, I'll run lines with you. And that was the most fun we had the whole
Yeah,
day.
made the time go by really fast.
Yeah.
It was nice.
And you were a pretty intense actress. That was an intense scene. Wasn't that it's about a couple breaking up and getting back together?
Yeah, I think it must have been Those the River Keeps.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with
I
that
don't
show.
So,
So anyway, that was background work, but you'd recently gotten out of acting school.
yes. I went to the neighborhood playhouse.
Oh, wow.
And before that, I went to ADA for a year. And
American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
exactly.
Okay.
So I went there for a year, and then in between the time of getting asked back for a second year, I wanted to do something in the middle, in between the summertime. So I went to the neighborhood playhouse acting summer program, and I fell in love with that school.
Interesting. So what did the neighborhood playhouse offer you that the other one
Well,
wasn't?
I would say I'm very grateful for going to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts because they have a great voice and speech department and movement department, but every semester we would change acting teachers. And it's just different ways of dabbling in different ideas of how to go about a scene. And I wanted more depth, more technique.
You felt like changing teachers is starting over in a way.
Yeah.
Every semester. Interesting.
So,
I think it's good to get multiple points of view on.
yeah. And figure out what works for you, exactly. So,
Yeah, and you found the neighborhood playhouse worked for you.
yeah.
I don't know, how many other shows have you done background work on?
I did Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and then,
That's also on Amazon Prime.
yes.
And that's a show I want to check out, because that's about a 1950s housewife who becomes a comedian, right?
Yes, yeah.
So the costumes must have been amazing on that
I
show.
love the costumes.
Yeah, is that a cool show to work
Timeless.
on?
It is.
Okay.
Long hours, but that's with anything, really.
Everything, long hours.
Yeah.
We did, on Crashing, I was there for, 11 hours. It wasn't too bad, but
Yeah.
it's about 11 seconds of screen time. So I'm sorry, what other shows have you done?
And then I was also on Gotham.
Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving around Staten Island recently, and I actually saw, I'll just cut to the photos. We'll show the photos here. I saw a couple of production trucks from Gotham. So like the Gotham Local News and the Gotham,
Oh, yeah?
the paddy wagon, the prisoner transport. So
That's really cool.
Yeah, just sitting around in the parking lot. So
Yeah.
it was interesting. Yeah, they shoot Gotham a lot on Staten Island. I know Arkham Asylum
Yes.
was here. So what kind of scene did you do on Gotham?
Well, I don't know if they aired it already, but
Well, let's assume they have.
yes. It was the scene where I guess it's like a bunch of cops that got killed in City Hall area, and they had pig heads on their heads.
Wow.
So that was interesting.
So basically the set was a bunch of pig heads on police officers?
Like on the dead people.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
was very-
wow, and what part did you play as a background actor?
Well, the people who witnessed, who all gathered around in the scene
So that
before
must have been pretty easy acting to act shocked at a dead person with a pig's head on them.
Yeah.
Were they
was very
masked or
shocking.
were they real?
I don't think it was actual pig heads, though. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So, but anyway, let's talk about your other Amazon show. You're actually a featured actress on the 21st Century Demon Hunter.
Yes.
So what's that like?
It was great. I play the antagonist, Desiree, who's a southern sorceress. And I was really drawn to the part because I'm Southern. I'm from Kentucky, and I'm so fascinated with the kind of mythology kind of stuff.
Like the occult and
and
witchcraft and things like that.
Different dimensions. And,
oh wow!
So that was fun, and we actually had the longest filming I've ever done. We drove 8 hours to this other side of Pennsylvania, and then we probably slept for like maybe an hour, and then filmed all the scenes that we needed there, while my other scene partner is getting body paint as being the demon.
Your scene partner was body painted? That was their makeup? They body painted her?
Yeah.
As a demon?
Yeah.
That's a long day.
And then we had to drive another 8 hours back.
Did they let her shower off the body paint?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at least like, that would be so uncomfortable driving back home.
That sounds really exciting, though. I mean, so you were the antagonist. So you were fighting the demon, though.
I was.
Or were you calling the demon?
I was calling the demon.
Okay, spoiler alerts here, guys.
Yes.
But we can see this now on Amazon Prime.
Yes, you can.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. The 21st Century Demon Hunter. Why don't we take a look at the trailer for the 21st Century Demon Hunter?
Hey, asshole! Put the camp counselor down! Get back, ginger snaps!
Julia, are you alright?
Yeah, no, sure. And then afterwards, we'll call Neil deGrasse Tyson over here with the Hubble telescope to find your fucking ball! Hail to the Queen, baby.
Okay, we're back. That was the trailer for 21st Century Demon Hunter, which you can see on Amazon Prime. I'm talking to one of the actresses from that show, Madison Humes. So that's really exciting. I mean, that's a real TV show.
Yeah, it's great. It's great having all these people that supporting, and he actually, Charles Lincoln, who's the director and the writer, is kind of using this as a promotional thing for his novel that goes more in depth into what he wants to.
So he's already written the novel, and I was making a TV show about the novel to promote the novel. Hey, that's pretty good. I mean,
yeah, it's smart.
That's very smart, and that's a hell of a promotional tool.
Right.
Making a TV show about it. So they're going to do more?
Yes.
Excellent.
Hopefully.
That's great to have a steady gig as a young actress. So why don't you hang out? We're going to talk to a friend of mine, Mike Mason, who coincidentally was also on the set that day at Crashing doing background work. So we'll be back with Mike Mason right after this.
Sick and tired of the same routine and craving something new. I thought that it might be time to switch up the menu. My heart's been chopped and shredded and tossed and diced and julienne by you. I'm gonna 8-6 your text tonight and do what I gotta do. Haven't given up on laying in, but I'm not staying in. No, tonight I'm eating out. I'm an open-minded kind of gal, never been a picky eater, and you know there's nothing sweeter than the taste of a lady's beaver. I don't want no 1-minute hunger, man. I'm through with your fast food. I'm gonna dive face first into a 5-course meal that's finger like a gun. I've ordered up some good loving, but I'm not staying in. No, tonight I'm eating out. Some tried it once in college, but they can't Don't want nothing floppy. Tonight we're getting sloppy. If you savor the flavor, she might return the favor. I'm sampling women, but I'm not saying it. No, tonight I'm eating out.
Hi, everyone. We're back with Mike's alternate reality show. I'm Mike Veasey, and I'm introducing another CTV personality, Mike Mason. Mike.
Hey, how you
welcome.
doing? Thanks a lot, Mike.
Thanks for coming
having
down.
me.
I just thought it'd be fun to have you on because what happened was when I was on the set of Crashing last summer doing some background work, I ran into Mike, who I've known from CTV for many years. So it's just kind of a fun coincidence.
Yeah, it was great being on the set. We had a lot of fun. We walked and talked around. We had little breaks. Went to Washington Square Park.
Well, it was a pretty good day. It was a moderate day in the summer.
It was a beautiful day in the summer to be taping. I mean,
Greenwich
it was
Village.
almost like being on vacation. You know, being on set. I mean, it's something that I like doing. So it was a lot of fun, and there's a lot of beautiful people, a lot of, including the actress here, and there's a lot of beautiful actresses there on the set, man. Believe me.
Now you do a lot of background work.
Yeah, I do a lot of back. I've been doing it for like close to 10 years now. I've done Crashing. I was on Ray Donovan, Blue Bloods, Orange is the New Black, Power. It's too many to name, but it's a lot of fun.
What have been some of your favorite experiences?
My favorite experiences, well, definitely Power was one of the shows I actually wanted to be on because I watched the show a lot. Ray Donovan was another show which I got a lot of airtime this past season 5, episode 8, where it's actually, Ray Donovan is a LA show, so when Central called me to do it, I was like, isn't that an LA show? But the show's supposed to be moving to New York. And I got a scene. I got an actual scene with Liev Schreiber, who's the lead
Star of the
actor.
show.
Actually, he was nominated for a Golden Globe for the show. So, but then I'm in a nice little 15 seconds of fame scene with him. Actually, we did like a pantomime thing. We did the same exact thing it was like rehearsed. It looked like we rehearsed it, but we didn't.
Pantomime?
It looked like a pantomime, but it wasn't. He turned and looked, and I turned and looked. It's like, it looked like we pantomimed it. We looked like we rehearsed it. It was something that was, actually, it was telling people behind the scenes, it was like a broken scene. But we reacted the same way, and I think when they took it back to production, they says, this guy's doing the same thing you're doing, and I guess they put it in there. Now, I just thought it was a broken scene because usually when there's taping in the city, they don't like traffic coming through the scene. They usually have somebody stopping the traffic.
So is that what a broken scene is, when somebody wanders in that shouldn't be there?
Either somebody wanders in, and it could be broken in a bunch of ways. I mean, it could be broken if they have traffic coming in, or a car horn, or something that distracts.
Something goes wrong.
Something goes wrong.
Got it.
But we were taping the scene without cars coming through. So once the cars came through, I just reacted, and Liev reacted the same way that I did, and I guess they were rolling. I thought they weren't even rolling but anyway, they used it, and
That's really cool.
they used it, and it actually looked like, if you remember the Harpo Marx and Lucille Ball. Where they're
yes.
Yeah, it was same. It was something similar to that.
The mirror thing.
Yeah, the mirror. Yeah, a mirror of each other. It was. They threw it in there. So that's Ray Donovan, season 5, episode 8, about maybe 15 minutes in. But yeah, but listen, I love acting, so I've had a lot of fun. I've done a lot of Blue Bloods. I've done a lot of Law and Order. Nurse Jackie, I did a lot of Nurse Jackie, had a lot of fun during Nurse Jackie. They taped out of a studio in Queens. So it's a lot of fun. I'm also on Sneaky Pete, which is an Amazon show. Now this is a crazy scene because it's these Hasidic gangsters. So that's going to be interesting. They have guns.
That sounds
they have
interesting.
guns, and they taped it on Staten Island. Actually, right behind here, there's a little parking. There's an auto mechanic garage. They have like
Down here
10
in the North Shore of Staten Island.
Yeah, right here in Mariners Harbor,
Mariners Harbor.
right behind the studio. Here's like a
So,
Harbor
Michael,
Road over here.
tell me about DJ Mills.
Well, I've always been a DJ. I started out as a DJ on the radio. I started on WBLS way back in the days. I don't want to give my age, but it was many people weren't even born at that time. But
Gotcha.
I started off many years ago on Staten Island. Actually, there was a lady from WBLS who used to take the ferry. So my friend said, there's a lady from WBLS that takes the ferry. Why don't you give her one of your tapes? So I gave her one of my tapes. She said she liked it, but she's like, you got to give me more stuff. So I followed this lady around and found out what boat she caught. So I kept giving her tapes, and probably after the 10th one, she says, come up to WBLS, and I started doing mixes and started a little career in radio. Then I moved off Staten Island. I went to Richmond, Virginia. I was on the radio in Richmond for like 5 years on one of the first hip-hop stations in the country.
Wow, very
This
exciting.
was in the mid-'80s, so it was, it's an interesting
But
ride.
you're still doing it. I mean, the hat.
Well, yeah, I'm actually
Looks
on
new.
my way to set up to do a DJ thing in New Jersey.
Okay.
And I got your text this morning, and I says, I got to come and support my man Mike, because we camaraderie from CTV in Staten Island and everything, so thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it was so funny because I ran into you on the set. We were parked in a little cafe in the village downstairs in a basement, and I walk in, and there you are, and you got these headphones on, and you look. I thought you were directing the thing. You had this authority about you with the headphones and holding some papers, but turns out you were just doing background like me. But
Oh yeah. I love doing background.
it was fun.
The background thing is fun, and the thing about it is, background to me. I mean, I'm on the show. I mean, and people take the background thing as, I'm just background, blah 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 blah. I don't take it that way. I take background as, I might be seen with Lee Schreiber on the thing, and like I was in a scene with 50 Cent. He's the star of Power. And Michael Rainey, who's from Staten Island, he's a young and upcoming actor. So I take it not as a menial job or just background. I take it as, hey, I could be seen and millions of people can see me. So
Well, I found that the spirit of the whole set was like that. It's,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everyone was, first of all, a lot of training in that room. I mean, you went to acting school. A lot of the young actors had just come out of some kind of acting program, be it a college or a conservatory or something. And everyone.
Mike is modest. I
Got
just
it.
want to cut in for a second. Mike is modest.
Modest.
He was shown twice, not just once. You don't even get to be shown on these shows.
Yeah.
Mike was shown twice on Crashing. So watch Crashing. It's HBO Crashing on demand. He's shown during the Bill Burr bit on the show.
The Bill Burr stand-up comedy.
Bill Burr.
Yeah.
No, it was just dumb luck. But thank you. It was just dumb luck, Well, Michael,
And you look great. It was great shots of you. I mean, and especially it was like a reaction shot. Bill Burr told a joke, and you reacted to it.
Well, the fun part for me was on the street when we had to walk past Bill Burr and Pete Holmes. They're doing a whole scene on the street. We all had to walk past them back and forth, back and forth. We did it about 8 times. But I felt like, walking out there pretty early and pretty close to them, maybe I'll get seen. But you only really see me from behind,
Oh, okay.
You see me in a long shot, you see me come around the corner, but when they cut to the close-up of the conversation, you only see my back walking away. But it was fun. It was a fun day.
Absolutely.
And, well, thank you, Michael. I know you have to get out.
No problem. Thanks
DJ
a lot,
Mills
Mike.
is in
Thank you. Appreciate it.
demand,
Nice
so,
meeting you too as well. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Coming up, we're going to meet a producer friend of mine who has his own studio here in Stapleton. He is the founder of the New York Pinup Club. What is that? Let's find out.
Club does a retro-themed photo shoot once a month. This one was at the American Air Power Museum. It was our 4th time there. It's so much fun posing with the vintage planes. Photographers have all different levels of experience. Some are brand new, and some have been working pros for years. There's also a burlesque show every month. A lot of the models at this shoot also perform burlesque for the club. If you like photography or retro style, or just want to come and see burlesque, come join us at the New York Pinup Club.
Hi everyone, we're back with Mike's alternate reality show. We just saw a clip showing us behind the scenes at the New York Pinup Club. I'm here with the founder. He's also a filmmaker, a producer, and he runs the Search Party Studio on Wave Street here in Staten Island. Please welcome Brandon Herman. Brandon?
Mike, no pleasure.
Thank you for coming down to the show.
My pleasure. This is great.
So the New York Pinup Club looks like so much fun.
It's been fun. We have a fun time when we put shoots together. Yeah, I've been doing it for 11 years now.
11 years.
11 years, and average a shoot at this point, not quite every month, but every other month maybe. And it's pretty often, and we have a good time. Fun is a priority.
And the theme is always like retro modeling, retro.
Yeah, we throw a pretty wide net over what that means. So we've done stuff as early as 1920s flapper style and as late as 60s mod and maybe even a touch of 70s. But the kind of idea is the classic pinup style, the picture you'd tear out of a magazine and pin up somewhere, and that's kind of our vibe.
And yeah, and you've gone to airline museums, train museums.
Yeah, the clip you saw, there's the American Air Power Museum out on Long Island, and it's phenomenal, real World War II aircraft, and we pose models on the wings of the planes and in the planes and stuff. It's phenomenal. It's my favorite thing that we do. We've gone down to Wildwood, New Jersey for an overnight because it's a bit of a trip, so we'll go down and stay for 2 days.
It's a great town for that.
It's a great town, the entire town. It's kind of a mandate from the city, so even the like Subway sandwich place, their sign is an old style Googie architecture kind of thing, and there's a neon museum there that lets us come in and shoot, and the Do-Up Museum, and there are diners and ice cream shops that have all been very kind and let us come in and shoot there.
So the city of Wildwood mandates that every
there's something about it, yeah, that there's some
retro.
kind of, because they want to kind of try to keep a consistency.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was telling Madison about your work in
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. I love the 1920s though.
Yeah,
Those are like flappers and everything.
And,
Great Gatsby.
And you've done 1950s with Mrs.
Well, I was
Weasel.
going to say,
Yeah, there you go.
And even Gotham has a weird retro
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call it.
They have their own style.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And it is an interesting throwback to the Tim Burton one because it's kind of like you can't tell exactly what year it's supposed to be. It's a weird mix of a lot of different technology and fashion and architecture and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I kind of liked about the Tim Burton one.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So how do you find your models for the Pinup Club?
Well, there's a lot of different ways. After 11 years, people know us, so we have people who request that they come out to shoot and participate, but we also just work with a lot of burlesquers, and we produce burlesque shows. And that's phenomenal because they live it, and they have the hair and the makeup, and they know how to do it, and they have their own wardrobe a lot of times. And certainly as a club and as a group, we have wardrobe and we have a hair and makeup team that'll come in, but it's nice to know somebody might have a dress that they really want to wear, or they might have something from their vintage shopping on their own that they've recently acquired that they want to bring in. And so we'll throw a call out to people that we know, and then we'll go a little bit wider depending on what we need and how many models we need for a particular shoot.
How did you get involved in the burlesque scene?
At the end of our first year, things had been going really well as a photography club, and we said we should have a party to celebrate how good of a year this has been, and what would that party be? And so the party we did, we called it the Big Tease, and we had burlesque, and we had a retro lingerie fashion line come through, and we had some music, some live music. And at the end of the second year, we decided to do another one. We did the Big Tease 2, and the same thing. And at that point, we said, we can't do the whole thing every month, but we should do the burlesque part every month. And we started looking around, and for just over 2 years, we did a monthly show at the old Slipper Room.
Oh, beautiful
before
place.
the renovations.
Yeah.
And then when that closed for renovations, we moved to the Bowery Poetry Club and did almost 3 years there. And that was phenomenal. It was just a great environment. And then that got bought out. And when that happened, we became a little bit homeless. And so we kind of do little pop-up nights here and there. We've done shows at Beauty Bar, at La Poussin Rouge, and a few other places.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a run. I mean, multiple years.
Yeah,
Any
we have
show.
another. We're looking at booking a show in March, and so we don't do it quite as often as I'd like, but yeah.
Must be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's great. It's just to see the level of talent and the dedication and the time put into it, and these sequence costumes and performers who carry giant feather fans on the subway to get to a show. It's incredible.
I love burlesque. I love the theatricality of it.
Yeah.
And like you said, the big props. I mean,
Yeah.
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 my exposure to burlesque really is old Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Oh,
You know, whenever
yeah.
Bugs Bunny dressed up like a girl, it seemed to be a very extreme.
Yeah. Because, you know, burlesque comes out of vaudeville, and that was kind of what Bugs was playing in a lot, too. Yeah.
So you're also a filmmaker.
Yes. Yeah.
You've what kind of films do you make?
Well, it's been a little bit all over. I just shot a few months ago kind of a sitcom pilot for a sitcom.
Oh, nice.
And I'm editing that now. I'd done some short little sci-fi pieces, just short films, and now that I have studio space with green screen, I'm prepping something else to shoot probably in the summertime. That'll be almost entirely shot green screen with some backgrounds put in. But then I do music videos for other bands, and
You know what? Why don't we show the music video you told me you just completed?
oh, sure, yeah.
You want to set it up?
Yeah, it's by a group called the Brandos. They've been around for about 30 years, and they had a kind of a real good moment in the 80s, and they toured the world and hit really big in Europe, and they have a huge fan base in Germany. Brandos. And so they have continued to have a cult following as they've released albums, and they just released a new one, and this is the first single off of that album. And it just came out 2 days ago, officially launched after a while of us putting it together and editing it. And we're really excited. The label really was happy with it. They didn't know anything until we sent them the final version of it. They were thrilled, and they're promoting it, and they're promoting it overseas. And yeah, it's really exciting.
All right, well,
Let's take a look.
let's take a look at the new video directed by Brandon Herman for the musical group The Brandos.
un futuro incierto siguiendo al coyote me salí. Atormentado por tantas dudas, huyendo de la desesperación me fui. Ay, por Dios, Señor, que me regale unas gotas de agua, por favor. Ay, a ese hombre no le tengo que regalar nada, me gruñó. En el fondo de su corazón acechan secretos oscuros. Y vaya sin descanso es el coyote y sus sentimientos. Tan solo el tiempo los revelará. Demonio del infierno, ángel de mi salvación. Señor coyote, ¿cuál fue la tragedia profunda que le volvió así? La humanidad le dejó al percibir de la falta de esperanza aquí. Pero no, Señor, va perdiendo el alma con cada transgresión. En el fondo de su corazón acechan secretos oscuros. Y vaya sin descanso es el coyote de sus sentimientos. Demonio del infierno, ángel de mi salvación. Tan solo el tiempo lo revelará. El tiempo lo revelará.
I'm Mike Veasey. Welcome back to Mike's Alternate Reality Show. You just saw the latest music video from The Brandos, directed by my guest, filmmaker Brandon Herman. Brandon, nice job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Who was the primary creative force behind it? Who conceived the idea for the video?
Well, the lead singer is Dave Kincaid, and he's been the founder of the Brandos and their lead for 30 years. As other band members have kind of come and gone a little bit, he's been that kind of driving force. And he had a strong vision of what it was that he wanted, but was open to collaboration, and which is a great situation. So we talked a lot and had a bunch of meetings about what we wanted to see. I started to curate some of that footage that's in there that you see. And then we brought him and his other guitarist, Frank, into our studio, and we shot them live action, and then we started to put it together, and it started to take shape, but it took a lot of kind of tweaking to really kind of get the intensity that he wanted.
Now, you shot it at your new studio,
Yeah.
Search Party Studios.
Yes, that's
down
right.
on Wave Street here in Stapleton.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Tell me about what's it like to have your own space.
It's exciting. I'd been working essentially either out of the house to go to other shoots and other jobs and other film shoots, or we were renting studio space for every time. And every time you do that, you have to bring all your gear and set it all up from scratch and do your shoot and take it all back down,
it's all
as I'm sure
pricey.
you know. Yeah, it's pricey and it takes a long time. It's a lot of effort. You're always terrified you're going to leave something behind. So to have it all there in that one space is phenomenal. And we've shot that there, we've shot green screen projects there, and we've shot photo shoots there for the Pinup Club have taken place there. And when we first moved in, talking with other people in the neighborhood, we realized that there's really not a lot of venues for other artists that are there.
No, not much.
There's Hub 17 2 doors down from us,
Great
which is
place.
excellent.
I did a show there last year. Great place.
And there's ETG Book Cafe that's closer to the ferry, but there's really not tons of places. So what we started to do is about twice a month we'll open up and we'll have a public show. So we've had bands come in many times, we've done entire nights, we've done variety shows, we've done an interactive art gallery show for a photographer who brought in pieces. And it's nice to have a venue where other artists could come in and either shoot stuff there, which we've had happen, or present stuff there, which we're looking to do more of.
Terrific.
Yeah.
So we can maybe find Search Party on Facebook or something and subscribe to find out about these events?
Yeah, you could Google any of this stuff. If you Google NY Pinup Club, you'll find our Instagram and our webpage and all that. And Search Party Studio has its own webpage and web presence and Instagram account. You could see the events that we have. We'll announce it ahead of time with posters and stuff. And just me, Brandon Herman, if you want to search that.
It's a great mix of people down there.
Yeah, thank you.
Parties, so
Yeah.
I definitely recommend it.
Awesome.
Okay, coming up, we have another filmmaker from right here in Staten Island. His film Last Laugh comes out in March of 2018. Here is a trailer for that film.
My mother was taken from me 9 years ago.
Hi, everyone. We're back with Mike's alternate reality show. That was a trailer for the new film Last Laugh that was written, produced, and directed by my next guest, filmmaker Chris Marciante. Chris, thank you very much
Pleasure
for
for
coming
having
down.
me. Thank you for having me.
Congratulations. This is a full-length feature, right?
It's actually not a feature, it's a long short. It's about 48 minutes long, which is like a dangerous area, but I want to get it out there, so hopefully it will work,
Now, once upon a time, there was nowhere to show a 48-minute film. I mean, it was worthless. But now with the internet, there is no real, you don't have to be a 30, a 60, or a 2-hour thing. You could show a 48-minute film.
Well,
is that not true?
No, it is true. First, I'm going to showcase it at 48 minutes, but then I'm probably going to chop it down and post for festivals to have it like 30 minutes probably. It's probably like a safer area, but yeah, it's really dangerous to have it like, you really want it to be like a full-length feature, which is like an hour and a half or stuff like that, or you want it to be like 18 to 25 minutes, because past that, no festivals are going to accept it.
See, I wrote a screenplay last year, a very odd length. I think it came out to 68 pages or 78 pages, which is about 68 minutes or 78 minutes. It's a really weird, what the hell do you do with that length? So then I took a crack at it and I tried to make it longer. And I found I was just making it weaker.
Yeah.
The stuff I was adding in there, it's like adding water to a strong drink. It wasn't making it better, it was just making it fuller. So then I lost the rights to the book anyway, so that's the end of that story. But so I give you credit. I give you credit for getting. I mean, it's hard to produce a film, much less a 48-minute film. How long did it take you to shoot?
Well, it was a difficult, grueling process. It actually took 2 years to make this film, so it's actually a monumental achievement to actually finally get it out this year.
Yeah, sure.
We just hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, as any filmmaker could definitely relate. Like, Murphy's Law, whatever can go wrong is gonna go wrong, especially on set.
Well, tell me, what kind of roadblocks did you?
Well, first off, it's budget. I mean, budget restrictions is a killer. I was actually saying this the other day, like, as a director, you vision something in your head, you write it, you picture it a certain way, But you get to set, something goes wrong. It's like, oh, an actor drops out, or the location's not exactly what you wanted, and you're like, oh, what? You start like freaking out. But as a good director, you want to just be quick and fast on your feet and just, make a good decision to push the project forward.
That's the hard part about directing, isn't it? I mean, I haven't done much directing, but the hard part is knowing that you're winging it, but looking like you had this plan all along.
Yeah, cool, calm, and collective. You have to.
Yeah.
You don't want the cast or the crew to lack faith in you. You want to be the captain of the ship. So you definitely don't want to fold under pressure, and it's difficult. It's a difficult thing to do. As a writer too, like I was saying, you want to bring everything you can that's in your head like to the screen. It's a difficult thing to accomplish, but I think you guys are going to enjoy this film. It's a cool film.
So where did you get the idea for Last Laugh?
Well, it's actually a funny story because initially I wasn't going to make this film. I was going to make a different film called The Farm Colony, which was based off the urban legend of Cropsey, and I was going to shoot it in the abandoned Seaview.
The old Seaview, yeah. Those buildings are so creepy. I love driving through. I do a lot of theater there, so I love just driving around and looking at those old buildings.
As a kid, I used to go in there all the time and explore for ghosts and goblins and stuff like that, but I've actually never seen anything in there. I think it's cool though. It's such a good place for like a location. Like, it just gives off that eerie vibe. But yeah, so I was gonna make the film called The Farm Colony. It was based off the Cropsey urban legend, Cropsey Maniac, which is actually something that happened here on Staten Island. A documentary came out about it.
Yeah, my friend just saw the documentary. They had a screening here. You're right. It's pretty commonly talked about now.
Yeah. Some guy named Andre Rand.
Yeah.
In like the 1970s or 80s was like kidnapping little girls or something like that.
Yeah.
And they actually did a thing on Willowbrook too. Was all messed up too with the like Geraldo or something like that.
Yeah, Geraldo exposed all the abuses at the old Willowbrook State School. So, you abandoned that project.
Yeah, I'm sidetracking. Yeah, so I was going to do this film. It was a slasher film called The Farm Colony. And basically, I didn't want to do the same type of movie that we've seen before, like an 80s slasher, like the kids go on the hunt like for the monster.
And one by one
they get killed off. So I wanted to do something different. And I always had a love for killer clows.
He had a love for killer clowns.
Yeah. I always liked killer clowns. I love It, the original It. Pennywise, like, tormented me when I was a kid. I was like, oh, this guy's creepy. Tim Curry just like so menacing and like always like mess with me. And I was like, let's try to do a slasher film, but it's also a neo-noir detective piece. So it's kind of different. It's kind of like Seven and like It like got fused. So
interesting. Okay.
I thought that was cool.
And the lead actress in the film.
Yeah, Jackie Adregna. She's a great actress. She's my lead. She plays Andrea. Basically, the film has three intertwining stories. The first story and the main story follows Andrea, whose mother was killed by the killer clown when she was 16 years old. And she kind of goes on like a revenge path over a 9-year period. It's kind of like a cat and mouse game between her and the clown. Because for the clown, she's the only victim that's ever evaded him, like ever escaped. So he's trying to get her, and she's trying to get him. So that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
And then the other two stories is this guy Sam. He's a drug addict that's addicted to a fictional drug called Z, and he hides out in this motel, which the killer clown is suspected to be living in. And basically, he's confused. He doesn't know if like he's seeing visions of this clown, if it's real or if it's fake, or if he is the clown. So that's the second story. And the third story follows this guy James, Detective James. He basically. He had the American dream. He had everything. He had the white picket fence. He had the wife with kids on the way. Everything was perfect. And one day he comes home and his wife cheats on him, so he loses it. He nearly beats the guy half to death. He gets suspended and transferred to another precinct into this place called Hillside. That's where the story takes place. It's a fictional city. And at first he's just rotting away on a desk, but basically after he's given the case, he jumps at it and he's like, he wants to make it's a redemption story, basically trying to make up for the past mistake, basically.
Interesting. So, is it almost a race of who will find the clown first, Sam or Andrea?
Yeah, I mean, kind of in a sense, and all three stories kind of merge to a different degree. It's interesting. It's a very interesting piece. It's something different.
Do you have anything you're working on next?
I got a couple of things in works right now. I'm going to release soon a parody of Christian Mingle. It's called Satan is Mingle. It's a little funny spoof on like Tinder and dating and stuff like that. That's going to get dropped. I'm also writing a script right now for a couple buddies of mine at Computer Collective. We're going to do another like detective style piece, but I can't talk too much about it right now. What else? I'm working on another sketch comedy thing with another good buddy of mine. His name's Monty Bell. We're working on a project. He's doing a comedy series called Barely Functioning, and that's going to come. A lot of things are coming out this year.
Good.
I can't wait.
Keep him busy. Keep him busy. So let me put it out to the table, if you will, the panel. Filmmaking on Staten Island seems to be enjoying quite the renaissance, or...
I mean, I think filmmaking in Staten Island is definitely experiencing a renaissance, and it's great. My only issue, and it's the same issue it's been for the past couple, 5-6 years, is like no one wants to work together, and I don't understand why. It's like you said, we're Staten Island, local artists you want to support. I just feel like there's so much division. It's always been like this, which is an unfortunate thing.
It is interesting.
But there is a lot of people that still want to work together, which is great. You got that studio. We were just talking.
Yeah, we were just talking to the break that he might need to shoot something. Yeah, I agree. I think there is a kind of tendency to feel like everybody wants to be the director and wants to be completely control their project, and so there's a lot of projects that are thought about but never actually take place. Whereas if they actually started to collaborate a little bit, we could actually see something actually happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people just get insecure. I mean, as a writer, it's a big fear as a writer. And it's more on the amateur level.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to steal my idea. So you write your idea and you write your script, but you don't show anybody your script.
Yeah.
And most of the professional podcasts I listen to just get over that.
Yeah.
You want people to read your script. No one's going to do your script unless you let them read your script. And that's probably where this is coming from. It's coming from insecurity. People are afraid of losing control of their project, I guess. That's all I can speculate.
Yeah.
But I'd love to work with both of you guys. So,
I definitely would like to work with everybody. I'm all for teamwork. It's filmmaking is a team sport. You want everyone to get involved and do it.
And the more people you work with, the more stuff you'll learn. And
absolutely. You never stop learning.
Yeah. Well, Chris, thank you. I wish you well. Oh, where can we see the Where can we see Last Laugh when it comes out in March?
Last Laugh hopefully will be premiering here in Staten Island, either at the Atrium or the Stadium 16. And you can check it out right now on Vimeo. The trailer's out there. You type in Guerrilla Revolution.
Guerrilla, G-U-E-R?
G-U-E-R-R-I-L-L-A, like guerrilla warfare.
Guerrilla Revolution Films, a studio?
It's Guerrilla Revolution Productions, but on Vimeo it's just Guerrilla Revolution.
Okay. And we can check out the trailer there.
Yeah, you can check out the trailer there. I have 2 trailers actually, the one that you guys seen, and a little bit longer trailer on there as well.
Excellent. And Brandon, we can find the New York Pinup Club online, I'm sure.
Yeah, many places.
And any of your other projects? Search Party.
Yeah, follow the Search Party social platform, and yeah.
All right. And definitely look for the work of actress Madison Humes. Again, her web series is called The 21st Century Demon Hunter, and it's on Amazon Prime. And watch out for Mike Mason. He does shows here on CTV all the time. I'm Mike Veasey. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
The other night at Cosmic Cantina, I was approached by a man. I tried to hang low, just eat my burrito. He worked on his pickup plan. He was all shit-faced, he got into my space, so drunk he barely could stand. He said, "Kitty, what's new?" and he puked on my shoe. Some behavior I don't understand. Singing high and yo, there are douchebags wherever you go. Singing high and yo, why won't they just let me be?
Oh, hey, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it was.
You know, it's funny. I had a similar situation happen
happened to me last week.
Well, that's very interesting. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, I'd love to. The other night I went to a disco with some of my close girlfriends. Then before you know, we're surrounded by Guidos. They start to make their descent. I tried to break free when one clung on to me. There was no way to defend. He said, hey, what's your sign? Then he slapped my behind. Some guys sure know how to offend. Singing hi-ya-ba-yo. There are douchebags wherever you go. Singing hi-ya-ba-yo. Why won't they just let me be? Now don't get me wrong, folks. I like a good spanking. I just want to know where it's coming from first.
Well, that's reasonable. But I gotta tell you something, Marie. You know the worst kind of douchebags? The worst ones are the ones that you know them and you trust them and they seem like real nice guys at first and then they get all fucking douchey on you. Surprise douche! Nobody likes a surprise douche.
Wow, Katie, sounds like maybe you got more of a song to sing.
Well, it's funny you mention it, because I do. And actually, it's about someone very specific.
Oh, well, don't name any names.
Oh, no, I won't name any names. That would be very tacky.
So tacky.
Yeah. Well, just say his name rhymes with pony.
Uh-oh.
I met a boy, said I was his joy. He courted me like a true gentleman. He opened doors for me, he spoilt me, adored me. We spent lots of time holding hands. I started to like him, it got real exciting. He had my heart there and then. Then he got me in the sack and said, I'm sorry, you can't come back, 'cause my girlfriend, she comes home around 10.
Singing hi-ya-ba-yo. There are douchebags wherever you go. Singing hi-ya-ba-yo. Why won't they just let me be? Look at me.
What?
Didn't I just tell you not to name any names?
Well, I thought I was being real sneaky about it.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I got an idea. I'm gonna fix it right now.
Well, this ought to be good.
Listen up close to the more of my story. Only one of these tales is true. I'll let you decide which ones are lies. I'll just leave that up to you. But here's my advice. Boys, treat us nice. Get yourselves on the right track. 'Cause if you do me wrong, I'll put you in this song. It's my way of getting you back. Right, Tony?
Singing hi-ya-ba-yo. There are douchebags wherever you go. Singing hi-ya-ba-yo. Why won't they just let me be?
Everybody!
Singing hi-ya-ba-yo. There are douchebags wherever you go. Singing hi-ya-ba-yo. Sometimes a douchebag is Katie. You're such a douchebag.
Yeah, sometimes.
All right. Let's cut.
Cut.
All right. Good.
Je m'assieds dans le jardin. Je m'assieds sur une roche. Je m'assieds près d'un arbre. Je m'assieds. Les milliers de poissons sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de poissons sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de poissons sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de poissons sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les enfants s'élèvent sur ma roche, je me suis pas dans le fond pour le patineur passionnant de rouleau. Allez les années 80. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Joie et remerciements pour le soleil attendu. Depuis longtemps de printemps, depuis longtemps de printemps, de printemps. Ha! Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Frisbee, café, citronade, limonade, la joie est facile pour quelle chance de colère ou de crainte. J'ai laissé le soleil, bronzage, mon visage. J'ai laissé la chaleur, abaissé mais motivé. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul. Les milliers de personnes sont partout, encore je suis tout seul.
Captain Staten Island, I thought you were fighting crime today.
Hello, Miss Staten Island. I am fighting crime. Litter is a crime.
But aren't there more serious crimes?
Litter is a serious crime. If people driving through Staten Island only saw trash alongside our roads, that's how they'll view our town.
Don't you have more important things to do? Picking up trash is not your job.
Fortunately, I don't have psychotic clowns or giant robots to fight every day. When I have time, I tidy up my neighborhood.
But isn't that what the sanitation department does?
The sanitation department picks up garbage twice a week, plus takes care of emergencies like snowstorms and hurricanes. They can't be everywhere.
All right, you convinced me. Give me a bag.
Terrific. Together, we'll get it done twice as fast.
Be a crime fighter. Fight litter.
My mother was taken from me 9 years ago.